The glass is colder than I expect. Not icy, not shocking, just enough to feel like something other than me. I lean into it, chest first, bare skin pressing slowly against the pane, and I don't move. Behind me, the room holds its breath. Nothing stirs. The light is low, almost blue, the way sea light gets just before the storm breaks, where the body forgets its reason. The curtain moves slightly, not from wind, from something more interior, like a hesitation made visible. My shoulder blades tighten. I feel the moisture of the sea outside, sliding through the barrier in the form of temperature. It's early, but the heat is already present in the air, thick with potential, the kind that sticks to your ribs and names you without asking. I exhale, and a soft patch of condensation blooms on the glass in front of my lips. Like proof that I'm here, that I'm not just the idea of a woman standing in silence in someone else's villa. I haven't been invited. Not properly. Not in the way people like me get invited. But I am here. The room, wide and low, smells like eucalyptus and something sweeter. Like a perfume dropped onto expensive sheets too many nights ago. I didn't ask questions. Not when the driver opened the gate. Not when the key turned smoothly in a lock that never expected me. I arrived with the dress already wrinkled from the taxi. The sweat of the day held under my breasts. Behind my knees. The heels I carried, not worn. I've learned. Always enter barefoot. The body registers place faster that way. And the floor here, marble or some cooler stone, accepts the arch of my foot with the same indifferent precision as it would anyone's. Somewhere down the cliff, a motor starts. Probably a boat. One of those white, gliding symbols that belong to men whose hands smell like wealth and sunscreen. For a second, I let myself imagine that's where he is now. Below. Preparing something. Not for me, just preparing. It doesn't matter. The room is not empty, it's not full either. It holds the kind of stillness that precedes a decision. Not a big one. The kind that changes nothing, but shifts everything inside. I don't know why I stayed. I could have left after the pool. After the drink. After the almost smile he gave me when I handed the glass back, and our fingers didn't touch. But I didn't. I came back inside. I unzipped the dress. Slowly. Let it fall, but not completely. It's still on me now, around the waist, like a broken promise or a deliberate delay. The fabric is damp where my spine holds heat. My breath, when I release it again, makes a second circle on the glass. This one's slightly lower. I trace it with my nail. It disappears. Behind me, the bed is untouched. Not uninviting. Just undecided. The sheets are folded too perfectly. That's how you know no one sleeps here alone. Or someone wants to believe that. I haven't sat. Haven't even crossed the rug. My body exists only in this narrow space between glass and absence. There's a sound. Not loud. Not near. But real. A shift. A presence. Not him. I'd know. It's something else. Maybe the room creaking in the heat. Maybe the ceiling breathing. Or maybe just me. I don't turn. Turning would mean choosing a direction, a reaction. I stay. Eyes open, looking through the blurred patch my breath left. The sea blinks, silver and false. The sky has no opinion. A small drop of sweat slides between my shoulder blades. It tickles, then disappears into the curve of my spine. I resist the urge to touch it. Let it run. Let the body speak. My hands stay at my sides, palms open, fingers curled slightly inward. The way they do when I'm near water. Or something dangerous. I close my eyes. Not to dream, just to listen, to calibrate. My name no longer sounds like mine. In this room, I am whoever he thought I was when he looked too long at my profile and said nothing. That silence named me more clearly than any introduction. And so I stay. Not because I'm waiting, but because I haven't moved. The hallway is longer than I remember. Or maybe I'm walking slower. Each step cushioned by the rug that doesn't belong in a house this close to the sea. Too plush, too still. My feet leave no sound. No trace. I pass a mirror. It doesn't catch me fully. Only the curve of my shoulder, the sway of my hip when I forget to guard my movement. I don't look again. Not yet. NNTHE. Door to the terrace is open. He's already there. Seated, of course, as if the world formed itself around the weight of his posture. Elbows resting on the arms of the chair, one ankle crossed over the other. A linen shirt the color of sand, unbuttoned, just enough to be considered relaxed. He doesn't see me at first, or pretends not to. His gaze is fixed on something beyond the horizon, some deal or decision or memory I'll never be part of. The sea stretches behind him like a dare. I step into the frame. NNHE lifts his head, slow, measured, as if assessing light. And then he says it, NNAIM, NNN, NOT, mine, NNBUT, close enough. And it lands soft, like a hand on the wrong shoulder. I don't correct him. I let it rest between us, like the sound of waves breaking somewhere below. He doesn't blink, he waits. Not for my answer, for my acceptance. And I give it to him. With a tilt of the head, a nearly smile, an inhale. NNTHE chair beside him is empty. I don't take it. Instead, I lean against the stone balustrade, palms down, skin warming quickly on contact. From this angle, I can feel the sun without letting it blind me. I watch the boats below, the white of them almost painful. Clean like denial. NNHE speaks again, not questions, observations, half sentences that don't need replies. He notes the color of the water, the shape of the rocks, the heat in the glass before the wine arrives. His voice is low, expensive, like it has nothing to prove. I nod at the right moments, sip slowly. The wine tastes like it was bottled in a country I can't afford to mispronounce. I pretend to care. Then he looks at me, fully, like a frame locking into focus. His eyes pause on the strap of my dress, which has slid half an inch too far down my shoulder. He doesn't mention it. That's how power moves here. Through what remains unspoken. Not much. Just enough to let the fabric fall a little more. The air finds my skin, and I feel him not touching me. That precise, unbearable distance. He doesn't move. But his wrist tightens against the armrest. His breath slows. I feel it without looking. And then he says it again. The wrong name. This time lower, like a spell or a permission. NNMY mouth opens, but no sound comes out. Not from hesitation. From choice. I let the silence answer. The space between us thickens. Not sexual. Not yet. More dangerous. Recognition without context. Knowing without safety. NNHE stands. Finally. Not abruptly. He walks to the edge of the terrace, back to me now. His hand rests on the rail, close to where mine was a moment ago. The sun glints on his ring. Gold, heavy, worn. I wonder if it means something. I hope it doesn't. NNHE asks if I've been here before. I say nothing. He doesn't turn. NNTHE, pause stretches, elastic and hot. I let it hold me. Let the moment expand until my body forgets its rules. I feel the sweat gathering at the base of my spine again, trickling slowly into the dip above my hip. The strap of the dress slips fully. Still, I don't touch it. NNHE finally glances back. Over his shoulder. A look that doesn't reach the eyes but sees everything. My bare shoulder. My silence. My decision not to leave. NNHE walks past me. Close enough to alter air pressure. Not touching. Never touching. He disappears down the hallway. I don't follow. Not because I won't. Because I don't need to yet. I lift the wine glass. Not to drink. Just to feel the heat of it against my fingers. The name he gave me still hangs in the air, like a thread caught on skin. I don't want to pull it. NNNOT yet. The pool has no edge. It disappears into the sea, a soft lie told by architects to seduce the eye. I sit on the stone ledge, legs folded to one side, the hem of my dress soaking quietly in the water. The fabric darkens, clings, changes shape around my thigh, like something alive. I let it. I'm not here to stay dry. I'm here to dissolve. He's somewhere behind me. I don't look. The sound of footsteps on the path has already slowed. He knows I'm here. He knew before I did. The way some people sense heat before fire. I press one palm flat against the wet tile. It holds. The other rests on my bare knee, fingers slightly parted. An invitation so subtle it could pass for stillness. The sun has dipped but not set. The light is angled, golden, intrusive. It finds the side of my face, the curve of my neck. The dip above my collarbone where the skin still remembers breath. I tilt my head back. Not to bask, to expose. Emotion that doesn't ask, only waits. The heat is everywhere now. Not just in the air, in the blood. In the choices. NNHE doesn't sit. He doesn't speak. He stands a few steps away, his shadow slicing across the tiles, just barely grazing my leg. I don't move. I don't have to. My body already speaks louder than any word. The silence between us is thick, but not heavy. It vibrates. Like a held cord. Like a muscle before the shiver. NNMY fingers trace the edge of the pool. A single drop clings to the tip before falling. The sound it makes is nothing. But I hear it. We both do. He shifts. Not toward me. Never that simple. But the weight of his presence moves. His breath catches, then recalibrates. I feel it more than hear it. And still, he doesn't close the distance. Now I lower my hand into the water. Just the fingers. Let them float. The current is barely there, like a secret. I resist the urge to turn, to meet his gaze. I don't want to see what I already know. That he's watching the place where my skin meets wet silk, where the dress obeys gravity in ways I don't. NNHE says something. Not loud. A word? Maybe two. But the sound lands behind me, and I don't catch it. Or pretend not to. I don't ask him to repeat it. Some things are meant to be missed the first time. I let the silence reabsorb the syllables. It's better that way. Cleaner. More dangerous-free. No breeze lifts. Not strong. Just enough to stir the wet fabric, to cool one shoulder and make the other burn hotter in comparison. My skin tightens. I shift slightly, allowing one leg to uncurl, the arch of my foot brushing the water's edge. A ripple moves outward. His breath stalls. This is the moment. Not when he touches. Not when he speaks. But when we both feel the pull and do nothing. NNTHE desire is not in the action. It's in the refusal. In the precision of restraint. The body that wants and doesn't move. The glance that lingers and retracts. The silence that deepens, instead of breaking NNHE, walks away. Not far. Just enough to break the frame. I feel the absence like a tide pulling at my ribs. The shadow withdraws from my leg. The tension doesn't. And I don't follow. Not because I don't want to. Because the burn is better here. In this not quite, NNMY fingers are still in the water. My dress, heavier now, pulls slightly at the strap. I let it. I let everything shift downward by a fraction. Enough to feel the air shift again. He's watching. From the edge. From somewhere just out of frame. I don't see him. I don't have to. NNHE won't touch me. And that's what sets everything on fire. The sun is higher now, but the day feels quieter. A kind of quiet that hums beneath the skin. Not silence, but something withheld. I lie back on the chaise, the towel beneath me damp from the last swim I didn't take. My body still smells like chlorine and the sea, though I haven't entered either. The salt lingers in the creases of my skin, at the base of my throat, behind my knees. I shift slightly, and the towel clings. Nothing moves unless I move it. NNHE didn't come. Not last night. Not this morning. His absence isn't loud. It's curated. Designed like the villa, understated, expensive, full of space that suggests presence but delivers emptiness. I didn't sleep, but I rested. Half covered, half waiting. I knew better. And still, NNTHE glass doors are open. The wind slips in, smelling of figs and stone and the kind of humidity that softens boundaries. My hand trails over the armrest. The edge is too sharp, a reminder of the frame. I pull my legs in, bend them toward my chest, rest my chin on the knee. The skin tastes salty. I press my lips to it, not to soothe. To feel something, NNTHE robe I pulled on is too thin. It sticks in all the places where I still hold heat. My hair, still damp at the ends, curls into the nape of my neck. I haven't touched my phone. Haven't checked the time. The day unfolds not in hours but in glances. Of light across the floor. Of shadows that move without asking. NNHE was in this chair yesterday. I remember how he leaned back, fingers tracing the rim of his glass. Never drinking. He asked if I liked the view. I said nothing. He watched my silence like it had flavor. Now the glass is still there. Full. The condensation has dried. No one will touch it. The memory of his fingers lingers longer than the wine ever could. I try to distract myself. The catalog on the side table. Something about local art. I flip through pages without focus. Faces of women in oil, unfinished bodies. Mouths always slightly parted. I close it. Too close to the bone. NNTHE sky is too clean. No threat of rain. No excuse to retreat indoors. I feel the burn forming on the tops of my thighs, where the robe has fallen open. I don't adjust it. The sting is honest. It tells me where I am. Now wonder where he is. Not in location. In intention. Was it always meant to stop here? Did he plan the distance as part of the desire? Or am I simply no longer part of the frame? I think of touching myself. Not out of arousal, out of defiance. But even that would feel like a reply. I keep my hand still. Shadow moves across the balcony. Not his. A staff member. Silent. Practiced. I don't meet their eyes. I'm not supposed to be seen in this state. Halfway between choice and consequence. But they say nothing. They never do. There's music. Faint. From another villa down the cliff. A woman's voice. Not young. Not raw. A voice that knows it's being listened to and doesn't care. I let it wash over me. She sings in a language I don't understand, but the ache is fluent. And I close my eyes. Not to sleep. To erase edges. To pretend I'm anywhere else. Or nowhere at all. The chaise beneath me breathes in the heat. My skin sticks. My chest rises. Slow. Deliberate. NNIF. He had entered now. If I had opened my eyes and found him standing there just beyond the frame, I don't know what I would have done. But he doesn't. And I do nothing. And I stay. NNOT. Because I'm waiting. NN because I don't know how to leave without it looking like loss. The note is small. Folded once. Placed deliberately on the marble tray by the mirror in the hallway, beside a half-burned candle and a pair of sunglasses I don't recognize. I see it as I pass, towel loose around my hips, still damp from a shower that didn't rinse away anything but surface heat. I hesitate. Not because I'm afraid, because it feels like touching it will confirm something I'm not ready to know. But I do. I lift it. The paper is thick, textured, a kind of luxury, chosen to signal intent. Mode time. There's no name. Not his, not mine, just a time, and a place. 1700, La Voile Blanche. That's all. No signature, no context. The handwriting is clean, confident, European. He didn't write it. That much I know. But it came from him, or through him. That's the way this world works. Nothing direct, everything precise. NNTHE robe, I left behind, lies where it fell. I choose something else. Something sheer, almost indecent in motion, but perfect for this light. My hair is still wet. I leave it that way. Let it cling to my back, leave marks on the fabric. I walk out before I can question what I'm doing. My body knows. My mind will catch up. NNTHE cafe is on a cliff. Not private, but hidden by price and pretense. The kind of place where linen and silence are part of the dress code. I arrive, barefoot, shoes in hand. The hostess doesn't flinch. She was told. She leads me to a table with only one chair. I sit. NNTHE view is a lie. Too perfect. Sea, sky, sailboats in diagonal lines. A visual lullaby for the rich. I don't look at it. I look at the glass, already poured, chilled, waiting. I taste it. Not sweet. Almost metallic. Like something that remembers touch. NNHE arrives after 13 minutes. I don't turn to greet him. I hear the shift in atmosphere before I see the reflection of his movement in the water glass. He doesn't speak. He sits. The waiter appears, takes nothing, says nothing, leaves. We're alone without being alone. NNHE places something on the table. A small object. A key? No A clasp. From a bracelet. Mine? I don't remember losing it. But he does. That's the point. NNHI's eyes are darker today. Or maybe it's the shirt. Deep blue. No buttons undone. His hands rest on the edge of the table, fingers slightly curled, as if resisting the urge to reach. I match his posture. Let my wrist brush the linen. Let my breath slow. NNWE, say nothing for a full minute. The kind of silence that builds walls and invites fire. He finally leans in. His voice is quieter than I remember. Or maybe everything else is louder now. The wind, the glass, the pulse in my throat. He says the wrong name again. But this time he doesn't mean it. Yet I answer. Not with a word. With a movement. I lift my glass. I drink. I let the drop linger on my lip. I don't wipe it. ENAHE watches. Not with hunger. With recognition. As if the game we're playing has rules neither of us wrote. But both understand. There is no future in this scene. No path that leads to anything but burn. And yet, I stay. NNHE says something else. Something real this time. A sentence about regret. Or possibility. Or maybe just the weather. I don't hear the words. I hear the pause between them. That's where the truth lives. In the fracture.nnthe check arrives without being asked. He doesn't touch it. I don't either. It disappears. We stand. At the same time. The chairs make no sound. NNHE walks ahead. I follow, not behind. Beside. The air changes near him. Thicker. Cooler. Like shade that smells like skin. We don't touch. Not even a brush. But my hand remembers. Outside, the light is blinding. I pause at the edge of the step. He waits, just enough to be noticed. Then continues. I stay. NNTHE note is still in my hand. I fold it again. Smaller this time. NN slip it into my mouth. NNTHE paper tastes like salt.